Hello everybody, welcome back, and I guess this is the one you're waiting for, so come on, let's go. Hello everybody, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Leol, and thank you for joining me here today. As I says, a lot of people have been asking me about how I edit my pictures, so like I says, I'm going to do it for you, and I'm going to show you quickly why I use presets and how much it can help you and make it quicker. So let's just jump straight onto the PC now and have a look. As you can see, I've got a plain picture here and no settings. As you can see, I've shot this one at ISO 400, 32mm, f5 and 1/320th of a second. So as you can see, it's dull, and you know, all the highlights are over. As you can see, the top, the graph's pushing it over to the left. But this is why I use presets, and I quickly want to try and show you this. If I went to my presets straight away and I wanted that black and white, all I've got to do is go over there, click, bang, and it's there. It's ready to use, and I can edit the highlights out more, and I can change everything, because once you've clicked it, you set it over. And I can keep going down onto my presets and looking to what I want. Now that one's virtually done, as you can see. So really, I wouldn't have to do that one. There you go. There's another one. Like I say, I've got different presets, another black and white one. And virtually, they're all done, but it doesn't mean that it's going to do everything on the picture. So if I was to click straight onto, say, this one here, and I didn't really like it, all I'd do is just go straight on click, and it's going to give me the settings over there. I don't like the blue too much, say, so I'm going to go down, and I'm just going to go to my blue slider down the bottom, where saturation, and I'm just going to take that blue out a bit, maybe. There you go, and that goes lighter. I can even lighten it up even more if I wanted, and go down a little bit more and change the colours. So that is exactly why I can even, if I wanted to, just brighten it up a bit more, put a bit more yellow into it maybe, or darken it back down. And that's the way I use and why I use my presets. But we ain't going to use a preset today. What we're going to do is we're going to do it from scratch. My presets are for sale, and I'll leave a link at the bottom. There's 35 presets and they'll be £10. Right, let's clear this one. So we'll reset it. Bump, there we go. And like I say, it's a nice dark it's a dark picture. The highlights in the sky a bit too much, but there's no detail. I can't see the horse is high. So first thing is, we want to get rid of all those dark shadows. So I'm going to go straight over, and I'm going to go to the shadow slider. And I'm just going to move the shadow slider out just a little bit. And this way then, it's going to bring out the colours a bit more. As you can see, that's made a brilliant difference straight away. Then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drop the highlights over down just a little bit, because I don't like the highlights and I want to see the textures in the sky. So this is why I'm going to drop these out a little bit more. So I'm going to drop them out. We can work with that in a minute. Next one I go down to is whites. Do I need to change the whites? Well, not yet, because they're looking okay to me. Blacks, It's a bit dark, the picture is, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the black out a little bit. Just only a touch. Now, believe me, this is my third video because it's taken me over half hour to do a video, and I'm trying to speed it up a bit more because the cameras and nobody's going to watch an half hour video. So we're going to leave that like that in a minute. Right, texture and clarity. I'm going to add just a tiny bit of clarity, and that's just to make sure that I've got all the fine hairs in the picture. As you can see, I do like the fine hairs. Right, one I do not use, well, I do use, but I don't use a lot, is texture, because if you use texture too much, it sort of puts a lot of grain into your picture, which you can get rid of in the end, but I don't really want to. I like the picture how it's shot, so that's why I'm going to stay like that for a little minute. Then we're going to go down, and what I'm going to show you not to use is sharpening. Over sharpening pictures really does make your pictures horrible, because it just doesn't work, and it just gives you that much grain back into your picture. So try and stop away from sharpening. You can use noise reduction, but I tried to use a noise reduction at the end, and to be fair, that's a little bit better. I've just topped it up just a touch. Right, one I do like to use is post-crop vignette, and what I do is I just bring that in a bit, and this just gives me the detail into the picture to push the centralise the horse's face. I want to show it, so we're going to be using that, but we're not going to be using that one straight away, so I'll take that off. Make sure also you've got, and you clicked on remove chroma aberration and then profile adjustment. Them and them good one, because what it does, it flattens your picture out, and it does work well for you. That's what I do. And then what I'm going to go over to then is we've got saturation and use. I use them a lot now. I like the green there, but it's just something that don't give me what I quite want, should I say. So what I tend to do is I play around with them until I get something I do. Now, so the oranges in the back popping up, so I'm going to keep the oranges like that. Green, like I said, I don't like it. It's too much and it don't look natural, because today I'm trying to do a picture that actually it's desaturated, should I say. So it's got, you know, it's got a bit more feeling to it. So I'm going to leave that at that. We're going to click over here. And then yellows. I want to put more yellow into. I want yellow in the sky. I want some more yellows into the foreground of the picture. So I'm just going to have a mess around with that. And only a bit. That ain't too bad. I can act that. That's just enough. Don't go overboard with it. But if you do, don't worry. So that's that. Now, I want to look at the sky a bit more. So what I'm going to do is go into masking. And all I'm going to do is select sky. And this should automatically detect the sky. Okay, it might not detect it at all, but it is a fantastic way to work. So I've got there, as you can see, it's got the horse's face a little bit, but I ain't really fussed about that, to be honest, because I can get rid of that later. So now, what do I want to do to that sky? I want to make it a bit more dramatic. So what I'm going to do is go to DAs. Now I'm going to push the DAs a little bit down, and that, as you can see, is giving me a lovely, meaningful texture, vibrance in the picture, and it really gives it that bump. Next I'm going to do is I'm going to get to yellow, because I don't want more yellows in it to give it more feeling, which is nice. That'll do me so much. I'm quite happy with that. Shadows, shall we have a look at what happens if I shadows? If I put the shadows up and down, there you go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of the shadows out of the sky, so it gives my sky a bit more, like I say, feeling. So that's all right. Do I need to do anything else to it? Not really. I could take a little bit of the highlight out of that little bit. But yeah, I will. I'll take the highlights out just to try it. So there again, we've got the basic, what I need. So now I've got that. Let's just see if I take the saturation down. It's not too bad, I suppose, but we'll leave that till later because I don't want to touch that now. Now I'm going to jump straight into Photoshop. This is the only time I use Photoshop, and I'm going to tell you why I use a Photoshop. Is because when you go into Photoshop and you come back out of Photoshop, all down your right hand side will be reset level. This means if you've got any highlights and blowed out too much, you can pull them back again. Same with the shadows, you can pull them back again. So this is why I try and stop out of you know, I try and use Photoshop. Otherwise, I like Photoshop to get rid of, you know, I like the healing brush on it because it works, the eraser, because it works far superior to what the CC one does. You don't have to use Lightroom or Photoshop. There is other ones on the market, and they are just as good and they work just as well. I tend to use this because it's what I've got and to do my editing, so I'll stick to what I got. Now, as you can see, we're here now in Photoshop. Let's have a look. Now, I know down the side of the face, there's a little tiny bit there that I don't like. As you can see there. So what I'm going to do is just get to the healing brush, pick it up, and just gently get down it. But don't forget, try and use as small as ones you can. There you go. I don't want to remove too much out of the picture because I like to keep my pictures as natural as I can. And the more you take out of it, the more the eraser just makes it look a mess. You can stand around and use, you know, your clown brushes and whatever, but I don't. I'm not the best of people to do this, so, well, for editing, so I don't tend to use it. And what I do is take sections out of time. Now, if you've got a preset, this doesn't work on a preset. You still have to do this, but it means that it takes a lot of the time out of the editing process. And this is just a quick way to do it. Like I says, if you wanted to do it, going to go over here and do your cloning, it's totally up to you, but I don't tend to use it. I'm happy with that. Like I say, while I'm here now, I'm going to go into the eye. I'm going to go dodge and burn. As you can see up the top, the saturate exposure, I don't have it high. I try to keep it at a low level because keeping it at a low level means that you can go over it as much as you want and build it up slowly to get where you want, because last thing you want is to overpower a picture. You need to keep the, you know, within a margin of what is good for the picture. So I'm going to go back down and I'm just gently just going to lighten that eye up a little bit. As you can see, it ain't taking a lot away, but it's just taking enough out. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around his eye, right around there, and his eyelashes, or hair eyelashes should I say. Then we're going to go back down, scale the picture, not that small. That should do nicely. I'll put it back up, centered it back up a bit. Now, as you can see, that ain't too bad there now, but what I'm going to do is I want to lift more colour out of it, and I want to, you know, I want to lighten the sky up to get a bit more moody feeling. So I'm going to use, like I said, dodge and burn again. And all I'm going to do is just go over it lightly. And then this is going to bring the colours out in my sky and make it look a bit more nicer and not too horrible and dark. There you go. I could also do a bit of the grass as well while I'm at, just to get a bit of a punch. Take a bit of that black out there. And already the picture is looking quite nice to me. I don't know what you think, but leave me comments in the box below. Now I want to concentrate on the mane. So I'm going to take it down shorter, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to follow the mane. And I'm going to just try and flick a bit of light colours into it, just to show the working of it. So here we go. Like I says, we ain't using overpowered. This one's only at 18%, because I can go over it. And as you can see, I'm just bringing the colours back out in the mane, just to give it a flick and a bit of a nice thing. We don't, I mean, people make Photoshop and Lightroom a bit too much hard to use, and they overcomplicate it. The only things I tend to use is, like I says, is dodge and burn. I don't really, and the eraser, because at the end of the day, you've got to have a half decent picture at the start to actually put into it. So as you can see, I'm just flicking it round again. This is the time that, this is why I like presets, because it's done, a lot of this is done on my presets already, so it means that I can sort of just jump in and just go along and do it. I can carry on doing it. Like I say, now we're going to use the burn tool, and I'm just going to gently, no I don't like that, I'm just gently going to darken down a little bit more where the dark bits are. I mean, you can spend hours doing this, and believe me, I do spend hours doing this sometimes. That's why I love my presets, because I'm on and I can work around there quicker. Do it like that. Let's just go back to this one. I'm going to get the dodge tool because I want the face just a little bit more opening up nice and neat. There you go. I want to give her some highlight down the cheek. Right, so that's virtually all I'm going to do now in Photoshop. So I'm going to go off there, save it. This is waiting for this is like waiting for Christmas. Once it's saved, click off there, and you got your picture back in. Now, to me, that's a nice picture as it is. But as you can see, down the right-hand side, all the values have changed. They've all reset, and this is what makes it. Now, I've got this picture here. I can jump over to another preset, and the presets will change over again. I don't know why it does it, but it does. So it means you ain't using one preset. I'm actually using, you've got two lots of presets, if you know what I mean. Because, like I said, you've already reset the values. It thinks that that's your picture, so then you can go straight on. So if I wanted to do that now, I could just click that, bang, and I'm away, and that's ready to go on social media straight away. That's why I do like presets. Right then, let's go back down here. Like I said, so the shadows now, let's pull the shadows out a bit because we want to see a bit more. Now, as you can see, the colour is gone a bit too vibrant now, so what I'm going to do is bring it back down a little bit, just a touch. Like that. Then we're going to go straight down here now to post crop vignette, and all I'm going to do is bring the vignette in just a little bit, then make sure you use a feather, because if you don't, you get hard round lines, and you don't want hard round lines. We need something that's workable. So we'll push that in, and then we're just going to pull it in the middle in, and there you go, and you got a picture. Now we can use these as well. Yeah, we'll give it a bit more colour and texture. As you can see, it's going around. I don't like to use it a lot. We'll keep that one there, and if you just push it up or down, you got what you want. But I'm quite happy with what we got, to be honest. Shadows we're done. Highlights, is there any highlights? Yeah, we'll just pull the highlights back down a little bit more, just get that darkness, a bit of colour. Then we'll get rid of a bit of blacks. Yeah, greens, like it says, it's all set, reset. So I don't want the greens, I want the greens to be more yellowish, because it gives it a bit more texture. And as you can see, there's nice texture in there still. Does it need any? No, don't need no sharpening, so I say, when keeping everything down low. So really, basically, we've got the picture straight away without even worrying. So, you know, this is the ideal way that I say this is the ideal way. This is one of the best ways I know how to do it. Like I says, I'm not really the best on Photoshop and Lightroom, so I try and keep everything as simple as I can. But this is why I like my presets, because it's just quicker way of editing. And once you've got one picture that you're editing, you can always flip over to your presets yet again, and you can add more. And from wherever you want, you could just go and say, I don't like this, and I don't like that, so I don't like the blacks in the picture. We could take the blacks out there. Yeah, we can take the highlights back out a bit more. Maybe just explode it. You got another picture straight away. It's all about trying new things, and if you try new things and you find your own balance, and that's the only way I can explain. These presets I've used on my macro pictures, I've used on landscape pictures, and as you've probably seen, the farm pictures. And I've been working on these presets for a little over 12 months now, and that's why I ain't really released no more, because I like to know that they work, and they work in a lot of situations. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I know it's a bit longer than what we normally have, but you know what I said, I did turn around and say to you that it ain't going to be short. I've actually sped it up a lot because I don't want to do an half-hour video where people just get bored and sick cutting off half the way through it. if you like the pictures and you want to learn any more about Photoshop and Lightroom, about dodging and burning or the things, just let me know in the comments box below. Let me know what you think of my pictures and my editing. You know, if you don't tell me, I don't know, and I just want to try and push a bit more out there. I'll thank you all ever so much for getting to the end of this one again. And like I say to you all, stay safe and happy snapping.